And going over to the business blunder of the day, the Ford Mustang has a recall for their recall, which, yeah, it's a Ford. I'm not surprised at this point. As much as I do credit Jim Farley for being a great CEO and the fact that he's a driving enthusiast and he keeps a sports car alive that has a stick shift and a V8, which is very rare. And if truth be told, if I was a millionaire, I might have a nice green Mustang with stick shift in the garage. Now, this comes to us thanks to Andrew Collins at The Drive, which they say, quote, Ford Mustang recall to fix incorrect repairs from previous recall. They say roughly 30,000 Ford Mustangs were recalled for shaking steering last summer. Now it looks like about 300 being recalled because the repair wasn't done right the first time. And at least the Mustang GT looks pretty good in that picture there. Now they say, quote, about 30,000 of the Ford Mustang from 2022 to 2023 were recalled for shaky steering. The electric power assisted system was, quote, providing unintended steering assist, which translated to a vibration in the driver's hands. Not great. They say free repairs were rendered by dealers, allegedly, but unfortunately it looks like 300 or so owners got unlucky and will have to go back for a free repair. The original recall, NHTSA recall number 24V493, and internally referenced as with Ford number 24S44, was issued on June 8, 2024, and they explain the issue as, quote, the secondary digital torque sensor in the steering gear has been calibrated with an inverted polarity. If the primary steering torque sensor experiences a failure or fault, and the secondary digital torque sensor's polarity is inverted, the steering wheel may begin to oscillate without warning. It says alternating clockwise and counterclockwise when the driver attempts to steer. The oscillation results from the electronic power steering gear providing unintended steering assist. In the NHTSA's report, it stated that Next Tier Automotive, the supplier for that manufactures the affected Ford Mustang part, notified Ford of a, quote, assembly issue with steering gears. In May of 2024, Ford lodged 2 warranty claims related to the issue in June and then decided to issue a recall later this month. I was going to say, no crashes have been associated with this issue. Unlike most car events where that's usually how the ends, that's usually the crowd get rid of the crowd of the car show. Mustang, I mean, they do that job quite well. Not safely, but they do the job. Now, they continue saying, quote, if you have embarrassing wipeout or leave cars at coffee meetup at 2022, here's your chance to blame it on your hardware. That's a joke, by the way. Don't actually do it. Now, they did dive in a little bit deeper. They say, quote, Ford Authority highlighted an important update to this small saga with the batch of these Mustangs being recalled, estimated 332 cars specifically, did not have the prior recall done correctly and needed to be brought back to a dealer for yet another attempt. Jeez Louise. Which, again, one of the most complex things people will ever buy in their life is a vehicle. It's got between 10,000 and 30,000 individual components, and as we see in this case, there's a subcontractor who actually assembled that particular component. But again, in theory, Ford has quality assurance department, allegedly. They might have some dust and cobwebs on it since Q3 last year, they spent $800 million in warranty repair work, which is quite a pretty penny to say the least. And when you're taking all these components from all these subcontractors, all these suppliers, you need to be thoroughly vetting them and, putting them through the torture test, not the people, actual product, but you really need to be making sure these are up to grit. I was about to say up to Ford quality. Maybe up to Toyota quality. That's what you should probably strive for these days. And Ford already is a joke when it comes to people, poking fun at them for having so many recalls in general. And I know the Mustang is not your halo cars. It's not $1 million, automobile, but it's one of the biggest brand identifiers of the Ford portfolio. Perhaps only second to the Ford F-150, which was a brand recognition and, sales throughout history. I mean, it is their sports cars, America's sports cars, the pony car that won the pony car war, which I can say confidently because, they killed the Dodge Charger and Challenger to remake them to EVs. And the Camaro apparently is dead and will be turned into a 2-door EV SUV. So, safe to say the pony car war was won by the Ford Mustang. Also, the other ones throughout history were canceled and brought back multiple times. Mustang, well, had some dark years thanks to the EPA kneecapping them with low, which meant poor performance. It still existed. So, gotta say, Ford, I'm not sure who's in charge of checking these parts out and then who's in charge of, working the dealers to make sure these actually, done properly. But, gotta say, Ford, this Mustang recall for recall, that is certainly the business blunder of the day. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in today. Again, try to get to 5,000 subscribers by the end of the month, so if you can click that button, I greatly appreciate it. Also, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, or comment. It's a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.